Well, week one of the Dave Smith era is officially complete, and Dave is sitting down with us here in the Rush locker room on this Friday morning. Overall, all-encompassing question to start, Dave. How was your first week?
It was terrific. It was well organized. It was well planned, and it was really busy with people that wanted to talk Rush hockey, and very enjoyable, not only for me but for my wife Susan.
Another overarching question. Why Rapid City and why now?
Well, I think the transition to pro hockey has been something that's been on my mind as a coach for a number of years. It actually goes back to, I think, 13 years ago when I made that decision. But you get through college, help our family. Two daughters went through college, and the opportunity felt right now to get into pro hockey and Rapid City. When that journey started towards pro hockey, it was and everybody in the game says this. But I've been fortunate now to start and to live it. You want to find good people that take care of their people and want to win. And I really felt that from the beginning in my first conversation with President Jared Reed.
How did the overall process go with your first call to Jared up until the press conference on Wednesday?
It was, you never know. It's a highly competitive business. Right? There's a lot of really good people that want a coveted job like Rapid City in a great league like the ECHL. So it's a conversation. It's a lot of preparation and research and hope that comes across naturally. And Jared was really easy to talk to. And then you end up talking with Todd Mackin from Spire Sports. And, at the same time, that Jared's doing their research, I'm doing my research. And it continues, one conversation after another. He came out here for a visit with my wife for a couple of days, and then you finally get a contract done, and here we are.
What sorts of common goals do you have with Spire and this organization as a whole?
Well, I think what's talked about is playoffs and winning and creating a winning environment that's player that's focused on the players. But I think there's so much more, and I know Spire Sports has, their, I don't know if it's a slogan or a mantra, but respect, right? I think first and foremost, Spire is a respectful group. I read a quote from the owner, Jeff Dickerson, and he was talking about, one of his NASCAR teams, but it was about if you're going to be respected, you have to respect others. So I think that goal is first and foremost, that let's respect the community, let's respect the players, let's respect the league, all of those things. Personally, for me, we've had the teams that I've been on have really focused on 4 values, which have been family, discipline, commitment, and integrity. Those are important things for me and for my family.
You talked about on Wednesday setting a standard right away when you get here with those core principles. How do you do that with recruitment and obviously when the players get here to start?
Well, I think it comes back to what we just mentioned about Spire. It's respect. You respect the men as professional athletes, as committed family people, and you talk with them. We hold each other accountable to things that we say and do. So we can't say we're going to recruit a team of character and then not do background checks on guys. So it's a everyday mentality, everyday mindset. And another thing I believe in is every day a champion. Every day.
Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Every day a champion. Do things right all the time. Do things, when you wake up in the morning, have a good breakfast, exercise, do the right things, communicate with the guys properly, and do the best you can, and then just repeat that.
I'm sure you want a team that's lights out on the ice.
Exactly.
What type of team do you want?
Well, that question gets asked a lot, and I think back to my playing days, and I was fortunate that I was able to get some points. Right, you can't win a game 0-0, so you've got to be confident with the puck as a team, but you have to be hard to play against, right? And that means there's different ways to do that. Sometimes that's with the puck, and sometimes it's just physical play. Sometimes it's gritty. Sometimes it's just sticking up for each other. It's always team tough. So those are the things that I would say would be first and foremost. Hard to play against, exciting, offensive. Want a balanced team.
You've talked to a lot of the returning players from last year who either have or haven't signed. You teased some of that on Wednesday. Stay tuned. We'll have some announcements, but we know Ryan Wagner is back to kick off the offseason signings. In an era, and you know this in college, and the rules are different here, but players who accrue a certain number of games can go anywhere. They can go to Europe or wherever without any type of status. What does it mean that you've had these conversations and players want to come back with a new head coach in town?
I think it speaks in no particular order to the guys that were here last year, the bond that they have with each other, the way they were treated, not only from the organization, but from the town, from the city, and that they want to be here. When you treat people right and you share common goals of winning a championship, getting to the playoffs, and my conversations, which you've heard me say, have been, hey, tell me about your experience in Rapid. And many guys say, hey, I've been all over the East Coast. I've been played throughout the ECHL. The only place I want to play is in Rapid City because of how we're treated and how the fans are.
How much do the fans just love hockey? The turnout was incredible on Wednesday, for one. Reception afterwards, and you've got to meet all the media partners throughout the week. I've kind of run you ragged around these first few days, but how much do fans love hockey here and just care about the people in the organization?
It's something that's talked about. Again, a conversation I had with the original coach, Joe Ferris. He talked about the passion in this community. I've had former players that have played in Rapid City. Richie Hansen back in the old days, Carl Hudson, that people talk about what it means to be a member of the Rush hockey team. Other players have come in as visitors. Ralph Kademi was really good in this league, and he talked about the environment. I haven't witnessed that firsthand. What I have witnessed, though, is the passion from the fans when they, whether it would be out for dinner at the Firehouse or at Murphy's, wherever I've been out for dinner as I've been getting acclimated here, people want to talk Rush hockey. You see it. Last night we were at a restaurant and we didn't realize it until we were halfway through dinner. There's a Rush jersey hanging right beside us. That stuff, that speaks volumes to their interest in being partners with the Rush.
You mentioned Joe Ferris, and being able to mention that name will get you a long way in this city. How do you know him?
So we've got a few mutual friends through the business. A guy I played college with, one of my better friends, who unfortunately has passed away, played college with Joe. He recruited really hard in those early days, and we had some players that he liked and pursued.
So you've recruited to teams like this on the college side. Now you're on the pro side. Any differences, similarities? How have you gone about it so far?
The biggest difference is these are men that are choosing to play professional hockey, and it happens now. We're not recruiting very young prospects, hoping they turn out and hoping that in 3 years they're still committed to your school. So the immediacy of pro hockey, I've really enjoyed it. It's very energizing, and being able to just talk directly with the pro about what's important to them and what's important to us. And if it's a good fit, you move forward. If it's not, you move on.
I know that when you're recruiting to a school like RPI or Canisius, not a Michigan or a Wisconsin or Minnesota, for example, or Penn State these days, having to hold on to recruits is such a big deal. In the ECHL, with one-year contracts all over the place, how can that experience help you here?
Well, I still think it comes back to what do we do when they're here? How do we treat them? How do we talk to them? What's their player experience like? Because the best recruiters, and we may make the most phone calls, we may do the most background checks and all of the things that go into trying to select the right people to put on your team. The best recruiters are the players. So, and I know this happened with our guys. They would share with me, yeah, I talked to so-and-so who you coached in college. I talked to so-and-so who I played pro with. So, the reputation goes around, and that's what we want to try and create, a really good environment that just feeds recruiting, that this is a destination for players that want to play in the ECHL.
You mentioned being on the phone. I don't think people realize how not glamorous the off-season life is. It's just being on the phone every day, but that's part of the business. What has your off-season life been like so far?
Well, I burned out one headset already. I'm on to my second
There you
headset,
go.
just whether it be traveling. I mean, it's the ability to make and take calls at any time, whether you're out for a walk or exercising or doing whatever you're doing, we're on the phone. And the network of college hockey is well established. I think that's one of the things that I bring to the table. I mean, I've been in the college business for 27 years, but that also extends out into the agents, into the major junior world, into the pro hockey world, and all around. I mean, it's a network of, it's a web which is trying to get the right number of players onto this roster.
I know you'd rather the attention be on the players, and it will be come October and obviously through the offseason as we announced, but fans do want to know what you're about. They've heard from you now for the first couple of times. What do you want fans to know about you when October comes around?
I think I want them to know that we put together a great team, right? And it is about the players. But for me, I'm a family guy. Really, my wife Susan is terrific. Our two daughters, Ellis and her fiance Robbie, they live in New Orleans. Kylie lives in Raleigh. We want them to come here. They're already excited to be here. They're Rush fans and they want their Rush swag, which we'll get them some stuff. But for me and my wife, we love playing pickleball. We want to play pickleball as much as we can.
So do I. Where's the invite?
There you go. Well, I don't even, all my stuff's in storage right now, so we'll get it out of there.
We'll get it out.
I love to golf. I love to fish. I'm really active. We'd like to have fun. I mean, we're just regular people that are passionate about what we're doing.
How much do you want fans to know? I mean, it's the right time for your family now with both your daughters out of college. You can move around with your wife, Susan, who's been a college professor along with your coaching endeavors these last many, many years. What do you want fans to know about how open, accessible you're going to be just as a community guy?
Well, I think it just requires effort, but the effort is I'm just Dave and my wife is Susan. And if we want to talk about Rush hockey, or we want to talk about the weather, or we want to talk about Deadwood or the Badlands, just come up and talk, because this is we're moving here, we're purchasing a home here, and we want to be part of the community the same as the person next door. So Dave and Susan are the people next door. I think it's a great way to approach it from my perspective.
Well, Dave, we appreciate this very much, and thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.